Universal Force TV.
Dear viewers of Universal Force TV, I wrote and published a novel in Tamil in the year 1984 with the title Raji Idu Unakaga. Now, Mr. Premkumar of Samyuktha Computers has brought out the novel in audio video form in English. The characters and incidents in the story are imaginary. Please see, hear, and enjoy.
Video 7. Raji, this is for you, author. Universal Force, Bala. Chapter 6. Alas, the man is missing. Hey, flower pot cracker, open the door. Chandran opened the door of the room, smiling at Nagesh's witty but meaningful epithet. Both lit cigarettes and got engaged in conversation. Whenever Nagesh came to his room, Chandran was happy. His witty speech would make Chandran laugh aloud. Nagesh also enjoyed the jokes that Chandran cracked. Nagesh would not talk for a long time and bore Chandran but would leave after a brief chat. Your love affair is gone. Your union post is gone. The magazine editor fanfare is gone. Why did you do all this? As far as I know, no lecturer has ever created such a ruckus on the college campus. Listen to me. Forget what happened so far. Try to do some research in English literature and get a PhD. That's the best way to get ahead in life. If you want, after 10 or 15 years, like Dr. Subramania Swamy, join some political party and create a platform to talk about all your ideas. Write in the newspaper. That is the wise man's way of doing things. Don't confuse yourself and confuse others by working like a politician inside the college. I wanted to say something about your circular. You have given 15 days to the principal to withdraw his actions against you. You leave the matter as it is. If you continue to make a fuss, the left-out lecturer's job will also be lost. Nagesh's words to Chandran were like a challenge. Dude, if you leave it like that, the circular will look like a clown's job, won't it? Chandran asked in an emphatic voice. All the lecturers talk like that only. Both of them laughed together before Nagesh finished. Nagesh made Chandra think. Chandra, think for a moment. Will any college principal withdraw the disciplinary action he has taken? At least if you are a student, you can go on strike with the union and threaten him. You are a lecturer. How many students are ready to abandon classes for you? Raghothaman says, Mr. Chandran has acted in a hurry. It is difficult to ask the principal to withdraw the order given in writing. It is doubtful whether the students will agree to strike work for a lecturer. On hearing this, Chandran felt that he had acted impulsively. Knowing that he had no strength, if he left the matter as it was, he was afraid that the principal would attack him even more aggressively. But he did not show his fear even to Nagesh. Giving some credit to Nagesh, he asked him for his opinion. Okay, tell me what can be done right now. Though Nagesh was proud that Chandran asked him for his idea, he answered without fuss. Take sick leave for a month from next week. The dust you created in the college will settle down. If you come to college, someone will provoke you. You will also do something and create problems. If you keep away for some time, all those who hate you, including the principal, will change their minds. If the study leave starts in March, there won't be many classes. You come to college, sit in your seat and leave. Don't talk to anyone unnecessarily. During the long summer vacation, everything that happened will be forgotten by everyone. Start a new life from next year as a new Chandran. To Chandran, Nagesh's idea was like sending an army commander preparing for war on compulsory retirement. However, Chandran half-heartedly accepted the idea. As you said, I have been trying hard for a week to write a research paper on English literature. I read only English literature books till 1 o'clock at night, I avoid books on other subjects like politics, society, philosophy, etc. Chandran explained his transformation as if to satisfy Nagesh. That's right. Rajeshwari is getting married on the 6th of next month. Will you come too? Nagesh took the conversation in another interesting direction. Chandran was shocked, as if electricity ran through his body. He revealed his state of mind without concealing it. Oh my God! I'm going on leave. I can't bear to see her go to everyone else's seat and give the invitation. If she comes to my seat and gives the invitation, my heart will stop. Nagesh smiled pityingly at Chandran. I have no other go. I have to love her until I find another one. Didn't I love Usha until I found Raji? It's like that. But, the way this wretched principal is doing things, I won't get any woman to interact with. Let's wait and see. Chandran stopped talking about himself and turned his attention to Nagesh. What happened to your marriage? Nagesh lifted his tuft of hair in the head with his right hand and replied, I think it will be settled soon. Tricky born and brought up girl. Didn't study above 8th standard. I saw the photo. I like it. If the horoscopes match, then it will be finalized. Okay. It's time. I'm going. Chandran thought of Nagesh's life and attitude. Despite their differences, friendship bound them both together. When Chandran was at the heights of success and when he burst and fell, Nagesh stood by him. He admired Chandran for his ability and intelligence. He wanted Chandran to progress in life. After talking to Nagesh, Chandran gave up his plan to fight with the principal. Although some students met him and spoke to him, a majority were only interested in watching what Chandran was going to do. The principal again took all the professors into confidence and asked for advice on what to do about the circular issued by Chandran. It seemed reasonable to the professors that the principal was worried that if he left it without any disciplinary action, the other lecturers would lose respect and fear for him. Now the principal had no anger nor fury towards Chandran. The principal wondered if Chandran needed to be so agitated, and how he could counsel the latter and bring him to the path of progress as he wished. The principal painfully remarked in the professors' meeting that though he had the power to remove Chandran from the college, he certainly had no intention of doing so and ruining the life of a talented young man. The professors also supported the principal's view that even though Chandran had done some erratic things, his life should not be ruined. Chandran had won a place in everyone's heart with his talent and hard work, and now it came in handy for him. Finally, it was decided that the principal should issue a letter to Chandran, condemning the circular, and warning that if he continued to violate the rules for college staff, disciplinary action would be taken against him, and a copy of the letter should be hung on the college notice board for the attention of students and teachers. The next day, the English professor called Chandran and spoke in a kind voice, Mr. Chandrasekhar, at the professors' meeting yesterday, the principal spoke very painfully about your behavior. He made it clear that he had no hatred, anger nor vengeance against you. Until now, I have not directly questioned any of your activities. Treat me as your family member. It was painful for me to see the circular you issued about the principal. Think how much importance the principal gave you. You have talent. We all want you to progress in life. The principal asked me to give this letter to you in person. It has been decided to put a copy of this letter on the notice board. Some people may see it and provoke you. Please don't get emotional and engage in activities that will create enmity with the principal again. We are only putting it on the notice board so that there is no breakdown of discipline among the students and teachers, and not with the intention of humiliating you. Please ponder over what I have said. After reading the letter given to him by the English professor, Chandran went to his seat with a gentle smile. Indicating by his silence that he had no plans to continue the fight as the professor feared. A copy of the letter given to Chandran was pasted on the college notice board on Friday evening. Chandran went on leave from Saturday. Many students and lecturers who had never gone to the notice board till now read the copy of the letter given to Chandran by the principal. Half of the people read and left the place in silence. Some took pity on Chandran and protested, "It's not fair. The college shouldn't dishonor a man like this." Some expressed their approval, saying, "This is the right end to the game played by that man who had lost his head." When Sridevi, a third-year economics student, read the letter on Tuesday, she was eager to see what Chandran's facial expression was. Rushing to the English department room, she saw Chandran's seat vacant and went to Rajeshwari and asked, "Ma'am, is Mr. Chandrasekhar not here? I didn't see him yesterday and today." "I think he's on leave," Raji replied, as if she didn't care about him at all, despite the pain of not being able to see Chandran. Sridevi shouted to her friends, "Hey, you know what? Our college hero Chandran is absconding, poor fellow. He fell in love with Rajeshwari. She just ignored him. He worked like a pistachio in the union and the magazine. The principal snatched both. The guy left the college in despair." There was a loud laughter among the students. Chandran got a doctor's certificate and wrote a letter to the principal asking for a fortnight's leave. After a fortnight, he extended his leave for another fortnight, spending half his time in his lodge room and half in the British Council Library, reading books. Despite the joy and satisfaction of reading books, thoughts of the outside world, beyond the book, haunted him. He became angry when he thought he could not win against the principal. He quickly thought of many ways how he could overcome the principal. It seemed to Chandran that it would be difficult to defeat the principal from within the college. Thinking like this, he felt a little depressed. After reading many books and sending articles to magazines coming from England, Chandran imagined what it would be like if they were published. He was happy. Chandran visualized the scene of Raji sitting with another man, wearing a garland around her neck during the wedding. The pain was like cutting the blood vessels of his heart with a knife. He imagined how it would be if a third-year girl fell in love with him the next year. Feelings of pride and victory filled his heart. His face lit up with happiness. Although these conflicting thoughts and their resulting feelings spread across his mind whether he liked or not and diverted his attention, he made sure that his attention was not entirely diverted from the work of taking notes and reading a large number of books. Once in 10 days, Nagesh would meet Chandran and talk to him about the happenings in the college. There was nothing important to talk about except Rajeshwari's marriage. After a month's leave, when Chandran went back to college, everyone looked at him with question marks on their face, as if someone who had been declared dead had come back to life. Chandran also did not pretend to be interested in talking to anyone. Chandran went to the principal's room and bowed his neck slightly for formality. "Now you are all right?" When the principal inquired, he gave a brief answer of yes, and stopped, as it would be uncomfortable for both of them to continue talking. The principal said, "Okay," and shook his neck and gestured as if to say, "You may go." Chandran went straight to his seat. Chandran told the inquisitive lecturers and students that he had gone to his hometown. It was believable for everyone. If there was any classwork, he went straight to the classroom and returned to his seat. Chandran completely avoided standing in the playground or the veranda and talking to the students. A week later, Rajeshwari also returned from leave. Everyone came looking for her and inquired about the marriage. She replied very enthusiastically. Chandra did not have to inquire about her marriage. Rajeshwari did not send a wedding invitation to Chandran. He didn't even feel bad about it. When they were alone, Raji expected Chandran to inquire about her marriage. She thought he would feel jealous to see her happily married. She wanted him to congratulate her and sing the sad hymn with tears, "At least in the next life we will be together," just like a failed lover in a Tamil movie, congratulating his married girlfriend. Although thoughts of Raji were still strong in Chandran's mind, he spent his free time reading books, taking notes, and writing his thoughts into essays. He talked to friends and students who came to meet him as lively as before. Chandran acted as if he didn't know that Raji was sitting in front of him. Raji could not bear this silent struggle, and one day, when they were alone, she began to whimper and cry so that he would hear. This is what Chandran expected. Crying was the last weapon she used to defeat him. This time too she broke his resolve with that weapon. The next day Chandran started the conversation himself. "Madam Rajeshwari, why didn't you send me an invitation for your wedding?" Thinking that if he called her Mrs. Rajeshwari, she might feel hurt. She seemed to have her answer ready. "You didn't come to college, so I couldn't give you an invitation," she replied without looking at his face. "You have a valid reason. I was wrong to expect you to go to the college office, ask for my address, spend 50 paise and send me an invitation." Chandran said, "I asked to know whether you see me as a friend or an enemy." Raji replied to Chandran, "As you think of me, so do I think of you." Her answer seemed right to her, but he was dizzy. "If you think as I do, you should not have married another man." Chandran restrained these words from coming out of his lips. He didn't want to cause confusion and embarrass himself further by saying them. Chandran and Raji did not speak again for several days. They observed silence between them. Chandran crushed his feelings of love and lust for Raji like crushing a bedbug. The fact that he did not resent her in any way, and at the same time suppressed his desires, raised his prestige among all. Chandran walked in front of Raji with a vow in his mind that he should expose Raji's love and lustful desire for him to society, or torture her mentally and kill her. Chandran strongly believed that women had more desire for men than men did for women, and to prove that this desire could not be restrained by chastity, Chandran tortured Raji by cutting Raji's feelings with the sharp knife of indifference, just as biology students cut open a frog with a sharp knife in the laboratory to reveal its internal parts. Enduring this hellish agony, Raji tried to find solace and happiness in her newly found family life. There was a man in Raji's family life, but that man was not Chandran whom she loved. Her husband was not mature enough to understand her feelings of love. It was a disappointment and an indescribable pain to her. Her hunger of lust was fed. However, it did not turn out to be a royal feast for a princess as she wished. It was like a dry piece of bread given to slaves. With no other choice, she accepted it and tried to be satisfied. But she was not. When her outer eyes looked at her husband, the inner eyes said, "We will see Chandran only." Even when she embraced her husband and had copulation, Chandran was in her heart. Chandran came to know that Nana Desikan, assistant professor of history, was publishing the college magazine as editor. He received the magazine from the peon and casually put it in the drawer and continued his work. Before the start of study leave, a meeting was organized by the college union. All students and teachers were invited. A tea party and art show were arranged. Ragothaman met Chandran in person and invited him to attend the meeting. "I'll try to come." Chandran's reply did not satisfy Raghu. Chandran explained his position with a soft smile. Chandran, who should sit majestically on the stage, would be asked to sit in the audience row. How would he agree? Chandran was not ready to give up his honor to honor Raghu. He left the college early that day. Radha, a student of biology, one day asked with uncontrollable laughter, "Sir, Mr. Chandrasekhar, are you in this college?" Radha looked a bit thin and humble with a husky voice. Chandran answered her with his eyes, smiled understandingly, and walked past her. Radha's unasked question, "All sorts of things are spoken about you. Are they true?" Chandran's unspoken reply, "Everything is true. You know me very well. But right now, I am not in a position to open my mouth."
Friends, we shall meet again next Friday at 8 p.m. Bye.